And welcome to this webinar, a special webinar tonight, talking about marketing specialty practice. Marketing specialty practice is one thing that we really have to pay attention to. All of you who are members understand that, in fact, we are going direct to patient. That's probably why you're members, because you're trying to see how a specialist, how a periodontist goes direct to the patient. Well, Gilleard Dental Marketing has been really responsible for most of our marketing campaigns, and those of you who've been with the IDS for a long time, or even for a short time, know that. We're happy to have with us Deborah Gilleard. This is the first time she's done a webinar. She actually did a nice program with us in New Jersey, which was received quite well. And we're going to talk about some of the basic principles of marketing, some of the things that you can do in order to be able to comfortably break out of that zone of referrals and get yourself out there. So I welcome Deborah Gilleard.
Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to go through my little presentation here. Effective marketing made simple. All right, so can you everybody see this? The two primary phases of marketing.
I'm seeing it very well. Thanks, Deborah.
Okay, great. All right, so normally what happens in marketing, especially in dental marketing, is that dentists are talked about the second phase, and pretty much the second phase only. The second phase would be the way you get your marketing seen by people. So, like AdWords, search engine optimization, how you distribute it, who you distribute to. All these things are like ways of marketing. And often what's ignored is how you market and what you actually say in your marketing to actually make sure that your marketing attracts, resonates, and engages your target market. So looking at this first phase, this is something that we actually really concentrate on a lot, is this first phase. My partner and I, Keith Gilleard, we come from a background of corporate marketing, ad agency style marketing, and we're very versed in marketing for, for big corporations and making marketing really work, right? And when we started this phase of our company, and did a lot of study doing dental marketing, we actually applied this to what we had learned and what we knew and had been trained in, experience of many, many, many years, to the dental marketing world, which was sadly lacking in the main principles of marketing. One of the big things that people ought to do is market research. You see, in market research, you find out what your public, your target market, what they want. What do they want to know about you? What do they want from a product or a service that you are delivering? What else? What the rest of the people are doing? All of that we actually do, and you can do yourself as well. You can even just go online, just look online and see, okay, what's everybody around me saying, and what offers are they offering? And this in itself can be helpful, to give you an idea, or your marketing company to give them an idea of how to position you. Now you're periodontists, right? And you're going now to directly to the public. Some of you are already doing that. Some of you maybe are not. But it is a different ball game. You're dealing with the public that have not come via a filter of a general dentist saying, look, this doctor is good, you need this, go to him. It's an easier sell. You don't have to have fantastic receptionists even, who can actually schedule calls. I know that Dr. Sheldon does a great training on that. It's also very, very important. And you don't have to be great at treatment acceptance. You can actually, it's a lot easier. So what the other side of the coin too is that these people that come directly from the consumer, some of the periodontists consider more difficult to deal with because they're not primed, so to speak. So one of the things you want to do is you really want to nail down who your target market is and give them enough information that they can sort of understand you, your practice, and why you're good. So they come to you primed. We through research, through experience, through testing, through having a proper vehicle for marketing, and you can do this too, can actually prime your public in a way somewhat similar to the general dentist doing so. So it starts with market research for us. And you can even survey your target markets to find hot buttons. You could even take your good patients who did full mouth cases or dental implants or LANAP, whoever you want to, get more of, and ask them, well, what is it that you liked about us? What is it that what were you looking for in a dentist? Why did you choose us? And use this information that you get, tabulate it, do 25, do 50, as many as you can, tabulate it, and then use that in your marketing. So you're not just saying, we offer dental implants, we offer periodontics, but say, we give like whatever it is, like minimally invasive, or we make sure you're not in pain, or whatever it is that they were really keen on, you can put into your marketing offerings. So then you want to make it personal, right? So how do you make it personal? Well, here's the thing. A lot of the websites that people do are what we would call an informational website, they're stock websites. You buy them, right? You buy them from the marketing company, and it's already written. They just put your picture in a couple places, and then they add in some stock photos and this and that, and expect it to work. But people aren't looking for that. What you have to realize is, by the time they're looking for a dentist, often they know quite a bit, right? If they don't know enough, then they need to know information that's a little bit more than most websites give, not so impersonal. Most websites will just say, gum disease is this and this and this and this, and we do this and this, or, the implant is a titanium screw, and you put an abutment on it and a crown, and then you might have to do bone grafting, and so on and so forth. This sort of information is readily available on the internet. You can get it from WebMD, you can get it from Wikipedia, you can get it from numerous other websites, including your competition. But you want to be personal. If you're going to give them information about the procedure, about implants, write it yourself. I mean, that's interesting. You guys are specialists. You know more than other people. Dr. Sheldon recommends having things like white papers or even a book. That's a good idea. But you can also just have a few words about it on your own website. Like, why you're different, what should be done, what happens if, you've got teeth missing, and what are the procedures that are good for it. Obviously, these are things that we put in our websites or our magazines. But, even if it was written in a personal way, that's good. But, being personal isn't just, just talking about the things. It's also like why they should go to you. So you see, a lot of the times they're looking for a good doctor. They know they need an implant. They've been told they need an implant, or they know they need a second opinion, or they know they need to get something done about their periodontitis or gum recession or whatever, and they know this, and just to go to a website that then tells them, look, this is what periodontitis is, this is what we do, we do this, and it's all very clinical, and hardly even mentioning your name. They want to know that you're going to do a good job. So that's what you really want to know. How the doctor can help and why they should choose him or her, right? I put dental implant there, but it's actually, they know what a dental implant is. They probably heard of, flap surgery and things like this, and possibly even laser surgery. But you want to write, as well as saying, okay, what we do and why we do it and why it's good, and also why you're good. You need to make it personal. The more personal it is, the more it has those hot buttons that you might have found in the surveys, the more that they're going to be interested in going with you. Think about it. Like if you went to just an informational site, about a doctor that you wanted to see. Let's say you wanted to see a doctor for your child, a pediatrician, then they just write, well, we do this and this service, and when the child has a problem with this, we do this. But if they said, well, we're board certified, we're good with children, we really make them comfortable. Look at this testimonial. This shows how we can really, we're really going to help your child. And we've had this sort of track record, and we actually use this procedure that other people don't use, that will help the child, and it's minimally invasive, it won't give them any pain, and it's not going to deform them or whatever, all these. Then you might start being interested. And then you also would have potentially different things in it, like photos and so on. So that comes under the category of how to make it personal. So as I said, write about the doctor and the practice. Show good photos of the practice, not of surgeries and other invasive procedures, but the spaces, the friendly staff and the doctors in action and so on. That's very important. That picture paints is better than 1,000 words. It's true. That's a key thing. But don't put bad photos in. Don't put photos like snaps or bad photos of your practice. Get it professionally done. When we do our photos, we have professional photographers that work just for us. We've trained them because we have a very specific way we do it. Because we want to make it look friendly, professional, high-tech. There's a lot that we try to convey within the photos that you want to have. And we don't show a sharp thing going in somebody's mouth with blood showing. Because most people are scared of the dentist, they're scared of blood, they're scared of pain, especially they don't want to feel any pain. So you want to make it look friendly, gentle, relaxed, that they're going to be able to go there and there's going to be these really nice staff that are friendly and they're going to help you and so on. So that is a very, very key thing that that you can do. So yeah, and then use the hot buttons that hopefully you found in the headings to attract attention and in the copy. The copy is the text. So if you've got, so if you have a website, you can just imagine like you've got a web page. Let me see if I can bring up a web page. Wow, not really sure how to do that. So, but if you have a web page that's just, like I said, like a typical Wikipedia web page, I'm sure I could find one. I'm just going to go look in.
Deborah, if you go to share screen again, just put that share screen icon, you'll see that other things will show up there. And so your internet page will show up there as well. You can click on that and that will show, then you'll be able to go do Google or whatever you want to do. There you go, you're getting there.
Okay, good. So then we can have.
Now I see you.
I'm going to do this again.
You go to share screen and you'll see a number of different screens that will be up there. You'll see like thumbnails of different things that are on your screen right now.
Okay, good. Here we go. So, all right. So I'll just take anyone, like we're here in, just pick a random area. Laguna Hills, California. Dentist. Actually, periodontist. We'll do. So some of these are, of course, not even periodontists, right, that advertise. Okay, 2 of them are actually our clients.
I saw Dr. Setty. He's the one who first one showed up. I know he's your client.
All right, so I haven't actually looked at this, so it might be a nice website. We'll have a look.
Very good.
All right, so this is a periodontist around here. So what can we say that is going on here? Services. Okay, so first of all, the first thing you see is a stock photo, right, of a man. Then he says dental implants. Believe in the team approach to dental implants that work closely with restorative dental. Okay, why you should consider dental implants. And the rest of it's just all informational. Types of dental implants, no pictures, nothing. Extraction and bone grafting. Okay, this is actually kind of a bad website. Okay, so I could safely say that the chances of anyone actually going from this website to the dentist and making an appointment are extremely low. And that's from, believe you me, that's from experience. So if you look at their homepage, okay, yeah, it's just nothing there. There's nothing there. Let's see if there's anyone else that's got anything better here.
I'm using the same picture for my dental implant lectures.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, some stock photos is fine. You just can't have only stock photos. So we'll look at this gentleman here. Okay, this one's a little bit better. He's at least asking you to make an appointment. He's giving you a complimentary exam. It's got something about top 10 dentists. This is a little silly because top 10 things you should know before choosing a Laguna Hill dentist. Oh, I guess he's not really a periodontist, is he? No. So he probably has a periodontist. Yeah. All right, so look at this one. Saddleback periodontics, procedures.
Now, this is what you're going to see, and I've got to tell you that we've experienced these websites before. We went with Gilleard. We actually tried. We had four or five different websites, and of course, the idea was the website was going to be something there, and people would at least be able to verify that you exist. We found out once we went with you, Deborah, and by the way, we'd gone with somebody else who was on the high side in terms of cost, but didn't produce anything. We found out that in fact a website can be a marketing site and can really generate a lot of patients.
Right. Yeah. So this one here, you can see.
Yeah.
You can see here that
here's Ajay.
This is one of,
yeah.
Yeah. He's one of our clients and also your clients, and he's local to us actually in this case. So it's personal, right? And it has an offer. It has pictures. It has testimonials. It has an office tour. It's welcoming. It makes a big difference, right? That's on the website arena. So we go back to how to make it personal. So yeah, using the hot buttons, that was important. So you can see how we use them sometimes here. Let's have a look. Where the share button go?
If you're looking to get back, then you would go to share screen and you find your PowerPoint. That's what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Right now we're seeing it about, it's hitting only the middle third of the screen.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Anyway, we'll go back to that in a moment. So then you want to have the hot buttons in the headings to attract attention, and also in the copy, that's the text. And you also want to have testimonials. These are third-party endorsements, so we always try to collect testimonials and actually put pictures of them. And the other thing that we do that's really important is that you have to have some kind of call to action. The thing is, people, they like deals, but also it just sort of gets them to do something. It's sort of like you want them to agree to come and do something. Like they say, okay, come and make an appointment. Come and we give you a consultation. Then that is very important. Consultation, complimentary, that should have an I, low cost, exam extraction, consultation offers. These are the one that works. These are the ones that works. Now, Dr. Sheldon includes in his, he has a paid offer, and he includes the CT scan pictures, and that's very important, scanner. That's important because he can then actually do proper treatment planning for them, give them an actual idea right there on the spot. This is an argument we have with some of our, well, I wouldn't call it argument, it's a discussion we have with our clients. Often they want to have an expensive offer. They want to recoup the cost of their CT scan or even their panoramic X-ray. This is not a good idea. What you want to do is you want to get them to the point where you have a very good treatment acceptance talk with them, where you are showing them, okay, look, these are your options, and you know what you're talking about, and because that's where your money is going to come from. So then you have a really good argument. You really have a nice little display. I think Dr. Sheldon even does a little bit of a design, right? You show them a little bit where the implant might go.
I do.
So
we have the Anatomize software, and the Anatomize software allows you to do that. So,
yeah,
there are some things that you can do in the chair, and I couldn't do without the CT scan. I recommend even to our members that don't have CT scans, go ahead and pay for the CT scan. Let them go out to the radiology facility, make a deal with the radiology facility, pay $150, and just get the CT scan. So even if you don't own a CT scanner, at least you have the benefit of the CT scan in the operatory at the time you're working with the patient, so that you can do a design. You can use some of these fancy softwares. And all right, so you spend $150 for a CT scan rather than spending $100,000 to have the machine there. You still can produce the same benefits.
Exactly. And actually, I just had this brilliant idea. I can show you. I can put my full screen there, and I can actually show you the magazine, right? So let's see, how do I go full screen? Do you know how I can make this full screen? Ah, there
you go. Here you are.
So what we have also, here is Dr. Can you all see that? Can you see that fully? The full thing?
Yes, I'm doing fine.
This is Dr. Sheldon's magazine.
I'm seeing the top half of it right now. So, if you bring it back closer to your face, we'll be able to see more of the magazine, and then move it right in front of your face if you want. There you go. Good. There we go. There's the whole thing.
It's probably back to front, right?
Yeah. We're seeing it correct. We don't have it as Hebrew lettering. It actually is showing from left to right.
Oh dear. Okay. All right.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah. So, for example, he's got the offer there. On the cover, you can't really see it, but there's, we've got the hot buttons in there, and then there's lots of pictures about Dr. Sheldon, some of Dr. Sheldon's achievements. But we work with every single client. Every single dentist and periodontist has something that's very, very cool and special about them. Every one of them, right? And that's what we do, is we find their strengths, the things that people like about them and love about them, and the things that they're really passionate about. And that's what we make reflect in our magazines and websites, right? Here we're showing the technology, again, the offer. Here is a nice little picture, like Dr. Sheldon with one of his, there's me peeking through, with one of his patients. That's priceless, something like that, right? Just completely priceless. The joy on these people's faces. And all of you periodontists have this. Where you've really, saved people's lives. I've read so many of these testimonials, and it's just amazing what you do. How oh, sorry, this has been written on, but there you can see some of the testimonials. There we go. Some other thing here. I think this is an older version. That just gives you a little idea. There's Dr. Sheldon's book. So I'm going to go back to sharing. So all of you have these things, but if you don't show it to people, if you don't have them actually know about it, then they won't know, right? There's nothing that they'll never know. You show them the testimonials, you show them the pictures of you, you tell them how good you are based on what people consider is good. You have a call to action to make it easy for them to come into your office. It has to be easy for them to come into your office and see you. And usually the type of people that you see, the people with gum disease, the people with a mouth that's probably been neglected for a long time, people who need implants, really, really want to talk to an expert, really want to have this advice, right? But you have to make it safe for them. You make it safe by showing them that you are going to be offering what they want, showing how nice it is, showing how friendly it is, showing how expert you are, and then also showing how other people have gone to you. That's the testimonials, right? How other people have gone to you and really appreciated what you've done, and having a call to action that makes sense, makes it easy for them to come in. It's not just people go, oh yeah, we want to cull out the poor people, you know. I tell you, rich people want deals as well. You got to make it easy for somebody to come in and talk to you, because then they can actually say, yes, you know, I want to do this, and they give you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. I mean, it's amazing. We get so many through our marketing, so many people, you know, doing big cases. So then what is the second phase? Well, the second phase is getting in front of your target market or markets. So that's where normally a dental marketing company, which is not us, not everybody, but normally that's where they pick it up, right? They pick it up at the point of, well, we can get you on the first page of Google. We can get you this many clicks. We can optimize your website so it, you know, comes up. We can get you this many ad impressions. We can send out this many postcards. And postcards, by the way, are difficult to do well with, because it's just not enough room to really get any kind of, you know, like any kind of message across, to really show anything. And it doesn't really attract attention, you know, there's just not enough of it or that get people interested. One of the reasons we did the magazines too is that they're big, they're like a magazine, they're different, they're showy, they have authority like a magazine. We write it as if it's a magazine. If there are people who walk into our clients' practices and say, look, I've got this, you know, I read about you in this magazine, you know, and we have stories constantly. I can't remember which client it was, but just last week, a client said that he was golfing and somebody came up and says, oh, you're Dr. So-and-so. I've seen your magazine everywhere. And it was like, you know, like this big celebrity, you know, and so on. So the magazine has this enormous PR value as well, to make you an opinion leader, an authority in your area. And that's important. The reasons it's important is that there's lots of dentists in the United States, lots and lots and lots of them. And many of you will come from an area that's oversaturated with dentists. We are an area which is super saturated with dentists, because it's Orange County, South Orange County, very desirable place to live, some good dental universities nearby, dental colleges, and, you know, and it's just super saturated, super hard to market in. And so we do what we can with the internet, but honestly, the internet in a saturated, difficult area will only get you so far. You would definitely do well, but then you can do well. It depends how saturated the area is. But then that's what the magazine does, is we can get it out in front of people and cut through the clutter, cut through all the other junk mail. I live in a very nice area in South Orange County near our office. I get a lot of mail, a lot of this and that and the other. And so I'm sure everybody else around me gets that kind of thing. So then it cuts through. You have to cut through. You have to have a bit of showmanship. You have to sort of make a bit of impression, right? So that's the art of getting in front of your target market, right? So what is your target market? I should just probably clarify that. So your target market is the people who usually is like most of our dentists, you know, 35 to 55, 60. I mean, if you're really going for the denture market, denture wearers to put in implants so they can stabilize their dentures or something, it starts going older. But it doesn't, I think the sweet spot is probably between like 35 and 60-ish. What would you say, Dr. Sheldon?
Yeah, that's generally what we're going for, and we're also going for middle income. So if we're taking a look at, particularly when we're distributing the magazine, we don't go for the upper income people. Well, they do okay, but and the lower income people, of course, we don't. But if we look at every door direct mail, we'll target the middle income ground, and that's those are the mail routes that we'll use, and we do quite well with that. Um, we're getting we're distributing about 16 to 18,000 magazines a month, and we're getting about 25 or 30 new patients from that each month.
Right. So, I mean, and that's something he's been doing some years, right? So that's, that's going well. Yeah. So that's an interesting point about the middle income. Many of our clients think, well, if I want to get like the big cases, I need to go for the rich people. But the rich people not always are the most responsive. And the other thing that is an interesting point, we have many clients, right? Many periodontists, but many other types of, general dentists, prosthodontists, and so on. And you'll be surprised where people can find money. People, when they really want to fix their smile, you'll be surprised. And again, that comes into a little bit on training your staff and yourself on scheduling and treatment acceptance. And I know that Dr. Sheldon deals with that. Because if they really want it, I mean, okay, it's priceless. It's priceless for these people. Sometimes for their confidence and their health is priceless. And they have relatives. They can get credit. It's a little easier these days. They can do financing. They can do mortgages. There's things that they can do. But yes, Dr. Sheldon has found the middle income. So I suppose you're just eliminating the very poor and the very rich, basically.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So the way you can do it, well, there is the internet, there's direct mail, there's radio, TV, print ads, which work. We've done everything. TV, we haven't really done, or radio, we've had clients that do it. The problem with that is just the expense. I mean, it can work, but it can be expensive. It's expensive to make, it's expensive to run. We've tried ads, we've tried all kinds of things. I mean, it always just goes back basically to the internet and the direct mail. And then even on the direct mail, we've done smaller brochures, we've done postcards. Postcards really only work if you've got a cheap offer. And all of our clients hate cheap offers. When I talk about cheap offers, we're talking about things like, exam, x-rays, and cleanings for $40 or something, right? Including a cleaning. I know you don't do that anyway as periodontists, but that's what I'm talking about when you talk about cheap offers. So that works if you've got an offer, postcards, but the thing that really works is this magazine and this internet. And the reason the internet works because people do use the internet, but the internet itself, you have to understand, is limited. People don't really get that. They think the internet is the end all. If I can just make the internet work, do better search engine optimization, get a better website, which usually is interpreted as having more gimmicks and more sort of tech stuff to it. But because internet marketing is competitive, internet marketing only goes a certain way. There's two things that happen. One, they might not click on your website. They just might not click on your website, right? They click on somebody else's because you can't be there all the time. There's 40 other links on the first page of Google alone. And there's people that don't search. The classic example of people that don't search that are potentially a public are people who are wearing dentures. These people, maybe they're older and they're wearing dentures and they're not searching because they think that's it. They don't really know. They've given up. But then a nicely written piece that's really sort of informative, that's priming them, right? And says, look, you can stabilize your dentures. You don't have to, or you can do in one day, you can replace your teeth. These dentures, you can have real teeth. You'll be able to chew. You won't have to take your teeth out every night and soak them in water. Who wouldn't want that? But they might not realize how easy it is and not searching for. And that's where your direct mail comes in. That's where you want to, where you're some nice flashy thing that they actually open and they go, wow, look at this. I can actually do this. And it's just one day. And he says it's not going to there's payments or something, and he's not going to, it's not going to hurt me, and I can actually chew and have teeth, and only 4 implants or whatever you do. And look, this is consultation. It's free or it's quite cheap, and he's going to tell me I'm going to give this a shot. That's the other thing, right? You can tap in markets that you can't even get on the internet. People are not really looking, or people who, save your thing for later, or even people who've got, chronic periodontitis, chronic gum disease, and don't really know what to do about it. They keep going to dentists, and it just doesn't really get better, and they just keep going, and they're worried about losing their teeth, and they don't realize that something like, perioscopy is available, or LANAP, or, something that actually can handle this, that they could actually save their teeth, because a periodontist knows how to save teeth. And, and the other guys don't. He's a general dentist. They read about it and they go, well, maybe I should go see this guy. But they might not think to search for it. That's the thing, you see. It's like in marketing, you've got what people search for, and you can cater to that. And then you've also got getting to that public to let them know that something's available, let them know that it could be done. So that's basically what that's about, target markets. I think I've got my half hour done. Is there anything else that I should talk about, Lee? Or
I think, one of the questions here, first of all, particularly if you're a periodontist and you're used to marketing to the general dentist, and you're saying, all right, that's not working so well for me. And then all of a sudden you say, all right, I'm going to find a marketing agency. And Deborah, there's no shortage of marketing agencies out there.
No.
And of course, obviously, in one way, you don't want to be self-serving. But at the same time, obviously, I promote you for a reason, because the work that you do for me works. But at the same time, you look at it and you say, all right, how do I get past this sticker shock? That's number one. And maybe that's really not number one. Maybe number one is, how do you measure return on investment, or how do you compare yourself to other marketers? So let's assume that I've never marketed before, and I don't know you, and I've got lots of different marketers to go to. How do I go through the interview process in order to be able to select the right person?
Okay, so you're talking to the CEO who doesn't actually do sales, right?
Okay. I bet you did once. Did you ever?
Not really, no. I've always had a partner that's like really good at it.
Well, good that I'm going to the right person.
He's really good at it because he really cares, right? That's the thing about my partner, who's also my husband.
Yes.
He really cares. He really does. Okay, I see the other side of it. I see the results of not going with, I see the results of going with poor marketing companies, right? We see that constantly.
Yeah.
And some of them are very expensive, actually. So can you rephrase ask me your question?
Yeah, listen, people are interviewing us as dentists all the time. We're saying, I'm saying don't market yourself as a periodontist. At least don't do it first. Market yourself as a specialist, and you're an expert on all of these things. And particularly for the people we're marketing to, which may be different from others who are on the webinar tonight, but we're marketing to the same general people that would be going to Clear Choice, except we're giving them, we're really giving them a choice as far as saving teeth or extracting teeth. And that seems to work very well for us. So while in the magazine, on the website, you concentrate on the full dental implant solution, which is what they're offering, we're also showing there's more to it than that. So, but for somebody who wants to get into my market, since I'm, I know my market pretty well, there are lots of companies out there that are going to say, hey, we can get you patients. As a matter of fact, there are people who are calling me, emailing me every week, saying, hey, there are patients out there that are looking for dental implants. Do you want to sign on with us? And so, and yet I have to hire somebody, and I have to pay money in order to be able to hire you or hire anybody. So
I'll be blunt with you. I'll be blunt.
How do I get the return? How do I know? Do I measure return on investment? How do I know that when I pay this money, I'm going to do okay?
Oh, you mean with us? Well,
or with you. Well,
Well,
tell me
without,
how did you get?
I don't know. People will say give return on investments. I mean, one of the things return on investment you have to look at is the watch for the logic on it. We will actually have people say yes, but with this postcard, I got a 10-to-1 return on investment, and with your magazine, I only got 5-to-1. But then they made tens and tens of thousands of dollars versus maybe couple thousand, right? I mean, so you really can't. You have to. No one's lost money with us. No one's lost money. They've always made their money back at least. I mean, and that is a minimum statement. I can't think of anyone who hasn't actually made money on top of it. And most people make a lot of money because most of our clients reprint, for example, the magazines, and most of our clients keep doing internet marketing with us. But that's just us, right? But in terms of going, if you're like looking into it for the first time and after having, trying to like expand out of just being a general, like getting referrals, the biggest mistake that we see periodontists do who are new to the game, which dentists have been around for a while and don't make this mistake necessarily, dentists who are successful anyway, is how much marketing you actually have to do. They think, okay, I'm going to get this one thing and it doesn't work, and then they just get completely bent. And not necessarily with us, I'm not talking about us, just with anything. Like we hear about it about other companies all the time. They just get completely bent out of shape. Like, oh my God, it didn't work. I don't want to do marketing anymore. How am I going to know it's going to work with you? And the thing is, you have to market. If it didn't work, too bad. I mean, this happened for us. We've done things that don't work. We put an ad in Dental Town. We had this like campaign. We did 6 months, 6 issues or something. It didn't work at all. We wasted a lot of money, but then you just move on. You have to market. You have to market enough. You can't just send out something once or do one thing. That one thing gets you some patients, but doesn't get you enough patients. And you try to get more out of that one thing, but if that one thing still doesn't get you enough patients, then you do 2 things. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of consistency. There's a certain amount of diligence. There's a certain amount of effort, and frankly, there's a certain amount of science that's associated with this in order to make it work. And not everything works. And I got to tell you, and I will be upfront. The first marketing campaign that we did with the Gilliards was to try to get more referrals in from the general dentists. And that failed miserably. It did. It essentially proved the point that I was trying to make, is that we need to leave that market, or at least I needed to leave that market. And so the next time I said, all right, let's do it this way, and let's make me like every general dentist that you market to. Because I was only the second periodontist you'd worked with.
Right. And this is many, many years ago now. So since then, of course, we've fine-tuned it. We've got loads of success. We have best practices. We know what to do. But if you're looking for implants, for example, that's something you really should be beware of, because everybody promises this. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. You really have to pour the coals on good marketing at that point. If you're in a competitive arena, if you're in a sort of rural area or a small area, it's easier. If you're in a competitive area, it's harder. So the more competition it is, the harder it is. I mean, some of our guys, we do better for on internet marketing for implants than others. We can do okay with all of them, but some of them we can do better. And usually the ones we only can do okay with, and we say, look, we are doing magazines for them because they're in a market that's just, at this point, cutthroat. I don't know the word for it, really.
That's true.
It's cutthroat because, like our own area, it's like some of these clicks. They think, internet marketing is cheaper than direct mail. It can get to the point where direct mail is cheaper than internet marketing, even one of our magazines, because a click can be several $100s, to get a conversion in a cutthroat market. So those are some of the things that you have to look out for. So what we've done ourselves is we've just narrowed it down to the things that work, the things that we know we can get at a reasonable price. Our prices are not cheap, but they're not expensive either for what they are.
It absolutely is not. And having compared that and having gone to, because just by being in the position that I'm in, I get approached by others, and so I have the opportunity of looking. You're right. When we see what we get, we see the reputation that we've developed as a result of the marketing materials you provided us with. When we know that, when we can assure ourselves that we know there'll be a certain number of good new patients coming in every single month by following strategies, it's very easy to follow that strategy. And then you can start to experiment with augmenting the strategy. So for example, when we started with you, we started with a website, then we went to the magazine almost right away. I mean, within 6 months, I think we had decided to do the magazine. And we
Yeah.
started off with something like 1,000 magazines a week. And we just then went to 1,500 magazines, then 2,000 magazines, and kept on moving it up to see what the sweet spot was. What market saturation do we need in order to be able to get the maximum return? And while it seems like we're sending out a lot of magazines, and I guess we are, the magazines themselves are kept by those patients, sometimes for weeks, months, and years, until they finally say, all right, I'm ready. Oh, where's that magazine? They dig out the magazine pile, and sure enough, they call us. So, I'd say, if you're marketing the internet, you'll see more of immediate return if, in fact, you're a candidate for marketing. And I agree, Orange County is probably a very, very competitive area. It's probably difficult to market on the internet. But how many people are doing a magazine? And how many people are doing a magazine that looks like this, where it actually, I'm Space Coast Dentist. Well, it looks like there may be many issues of Space Coast Dentist, and maybe the three of us, meaning my two associates and I, maybe we're just the ones who are appearing this month. Who knows? That's the way it looks to some people. So it looks like an objective piece. Everything that's done here essentially is to entice a patient to come to us, but not just to entice, because there's a lot of enticements out there. It's the assurance that they're seeing an expert, and that's what we're in this director of dentistry mode. And that magazine is, and the website does too, but the magazine as a piece essentially says, oh, I can go there, I can get everything done there that I want, even if we didn't have a general dentist with us. And when we started working together, Deborah, Matthew wasn't with us yet, or he was just starting with us. But when we started marketing, it was just me, and I was working with dentists on the outside, and essentially we were promoting me as a person who could provide you with a full service answer. And I had my 3 or 4 favorite guys that I referred to, and we were able to provide that. And then of course that opened the door for Matthew coming in when Matthew said, I'd like to work with you, Dad. So
that's very important, actually, that what Dr. Sheldon said. I actually read his great book. If you guys haven't read it, it's really cool. Advancing the Specialty Practice. He's spot on, that book. You want to market that you will take care of them, and that's something also we advise our clients. I mean, there's only so much, of course, we can do with the clients. Up to him how he runs his practice, right? But that's one of the things they want, is to feel that they don't have to see you and then see somebody else completely separately that's going to give them a different story. One person that's going to take care of them, and the periodontist is the indicated person, because he does have all the training. He's got all the general dental training plus all the periodontal training and experience, But yes, I mean, I don't know if I answered your question, but I think periodontists do offer a very unique and special service, and I think they are extremely undermarketed. And I would beware with just going with your usual company that doesn't understand that. I mean, one thing that we've done is that we really understand the periodontists and periodontal marketers. We've worked with so many and worked with Dr. Sheldon for so many years, and I make all my guys read his books. They've all read your Ultimate Smile Manual, anybody who's like was to write things and so on, and learn about, they all have to learn about dentistry. They get checkouts on it and all this, so that we can actually, write about you in a way that is real.
Now, there are some people who are going to say, well, I can do some of this myself. And you actually referred to that at the beginning. So let's cover that, where let's assume you want to do your own market research. And you referred to this a little bit, and I think market research is extremely important. Essentially, that spells the difference between you and many of the marketers out there. If you were to do a survey, what are some of the questions you would ask?
We would typically ask, what is it that you liked about our practice? What do you like about the doctor? What do you like about the way we approach our treatment? Why did you choose us? What are you looking for in general in a doctor for, more extensive treatment? These are questions that you can then tabulate the answers to and use as hot buttons in your marketing. Yeah.
And you'll find that some of your patients are using the exact same words, and when they're using those exact same words, there's a key element, isn't it? If they're using the same words about you
Also,
about the way you feel, use those words.
You can also ask them, like, what benefits did they get out of it? What do they want to change? What was their issue that they had? I mean, you'll tend to find the same things. It does the same sort of things, but it does vary a little bit from area to area. That's why we still do a survey, even though we got loads and loads of market research all together in our database, so to speak. But we still do a market research individually for each client, because there's always a little differences about the client and so on. But you can also find out what is it they wanted to take care of, what was important to them, what was a condition that they were trying to take care of. Those are some of the questions you can ask as well that deliver you hot buttons. But as far as doing it yourself, you absolutely can do it yourself. I do have to say it's rare the dentist that can pull it off. I mean, it's just is, because the problem is that you're already wearing so many hats. It's you go to dental school and they don't teach you anything but dentistry, really. And so then you come out, and I mean, it's very rare that you can have somebody that can be the dentist who's in there day in and day out, fairly grueling, doing surgery, talking to patients, long days. I know you guys have long days often. And then also do the marketing. And most of our clients honestly want turnkey solutions where we do most of it or all of it, right?
You're absolutely right. I did my own marketing for years, and I got some results, but you're right. I never would have formed the IDS and say, I'll show you how to market. I had to find you so that you could do the marketing. And you did it a heck of a lot better than I did, and you still do. So
I mean, that's our jobs. It would be like if we said, well, I'm going to learn it because we know a little bit about dentistry now. We're going to go do an extraction and place an implant. I don't think so. So it's our jobs. And the other thing that we run into, I mean, this is just me as a CEO talking, right? But I mean, is that sometimes, our clients or dentists will hire a marketing person for their practice. And those you just have to make sure that you see, the main point I'm trying to say is that you want to work with a company that's expert, and you want to work with a company that's expert in dentistry. So first of all, you should choose a company like that. And then secondly, and whether it's us or somebody else, I don't know how many do it. I think there's a few, but they really are expert in dentistry. And then also, your marketing person should defer to an expert company to the degree that they themselves, because an expert marketing company like ourselves, for example, who's been doing this now for 10 years, right? And, has all kinds of best practices in place, all kinds of market research. We track everything. Everything is tracked because we put call tracking on everything, right? So we track all our results on the internet and on the direct mail. Everything's tracked, so we know what we're doing, right? So then you want to make sure that your marketing person defers to them. I mean, that's just putting it bluntly, really, but they're just not going to know as much as an expert marketing company. What we enjoy doing is working in partnership with the dentist or with the marketing person, if they have a marketing person that we can work in partnership with.
We do periodontal probing. We measure the depth of pockets. We do our surgical treatment, our non-surgical treatment, our LINAP, whatever it is we do. We come back and then we measure our pockets afterwards. We see what the patient has gotten improvement. We'll take radiographs 6 months or a year later and see what that, how sustained that improvement is. We'll measure the person's bite. We'll take a look and see whether they're balancing interferences or not. All of the things that we do as specialists in order to be able to make sure that we succeed and that our patients succeed. That's the reason patients with complex dental needs need to see a periodontist. It's the same reason why we, who have complex business needs, need to see the best marketing person, and actually in any area, because they're doing the tracking that we don't do. we also listen to we listen to our own calls. You know, those of you on the line know that. But Deborah's also listened to calls, and frankly, I'll get a call from Mary every once in a while saying, "Hey, Lee, what's going on? This stat is down." Or I might go to Mary and say, "Hey, this stat's down. What's going on here?" If we're tracking the stats, then we can start, then we can see what's going on, and then we can go to the experts for an answer. And it isn't scratch my head, I don't know. It's let me do the research. When I call and say, "Hey, something's gone down here. Is it our side that's the problem, or is it your side? Is there something that you changed in the way you're whatever it is?" We can start to track it down. We can start to see what worked and what didn't work. And that gives us an experience base. So when the next time something happens, we can say, "Oh, we tried this in September of 2013, and this worked, and the same situation occurred. Let's repeat that marketing effort now in September of 2018 and see if we get the same result." That's what happens when you're really looking at your stats and when you're really looking at each individual action you've taken and tracking it. And that's what a good marketing company is going to do for you.
Yeah, we have people who just sit and listen to calls, do call tracking. We have. I mean, you have to train them. Marketing is an interesting field, and as I said, we come from a corporate agency type background, and so we have a sort of perfectionist attitude toward it, and that's what's really needed to pull it off, because marketing in a heavily competitive arena such as dentistry requires good marketing. And you have to really train your guys, and we just train them, and yeah.
Right.
Anyway, do you think there's anything else you want to ask?
I got a full hour of you. I see no questions among the group. If you have any questions, just let us know. Send us an email. We've got a new email address, lee@directorofdentistry.com. I'll still answer the old emails of the other email address, but we're changing everything to directorofdentistry.com. Lee@directorofdentistry.com, Danielle, Danyel, @directorofdentistry.com. We'll forward the question to Deborah. Deborah will answer it, and I'll get it right back to you, okay? Deborah, marvelous. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. All right, goodbye.
Very good. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you in October. Bye-bye.